Good evening with the Lime Sports World. I'm Damien Best. In the first hour of play today, West Indies had their last 6 wickets skittled out for just 18 runs, and they have been sent back into bat in their ongoing second test against New Zealand in Wellington. Resuming day 3 on 158 for 4 in response to New Zealand's first innings of 441, the Windies were dismissed for 193, with pacer Trent Boult taking 6 for 40. Marlon Samuel started the day on 50 and only added 10, while the last 4 batsmen, Darren Sammy, Shane Shillingford, Tino Best and Shannon Gabriel, were all out for naught. Yesterday, Best took 4 for 110 to help end the home team's innings. Then Kurt Edwards made 55 to start the Windies' reply. Currently in their second innings, following on by 248 runs, the Windies are 45 without loss. That's 45 without loss, batting a second time. Meanwhile, Chris Gayle and Kieron Pollard will both miss the West Indies one-day series in New Zealand because of fitness issues. Gayle was sidelined ahead of the current tour following a hamstring injury sustained during the Tour of India last month, while Pollard is still recovering from a knee injury. From the last squad in India, West Indies have brought in Kurt Edwards for Gayle and replaced left-arm spinner Versamy Perumal with another left-arm spinner, Nikita Miller. The squad for the two 2020 internationals at the back end of the tour will be announced subsequently. Well, Shane Dowrich and Kevin Stout both scored 80 today to further impress the selectors in the second Barbados 50-over trial match at Desmond Haynes Oval. Dowrich got his half-century for Suleiman Ben's 11 after winning the toss against Shamar Brooks' 11. CBC's Marsha Boyce reports.
The Ben 11 won the toss and elected to bat, but a 20-minute rain break after 4 overs led to this game being reduced to 44 overs aside. Openers Craig St. Hill and Anthony Allen resumed with the score on 16 without loss and were looking to push on. St. Hill launching Kevin McLean down to the square-leg boundary. Allen got in on the action off Javon Searles going through extra cover for another boundary. They were 39 without loss after 10 overs. Kevin Stout came into the attack, replacing McLean at the northern end and struck with his second delivery. St. Hill caught by Kenroy Williams for 17. The Ben 11 now 40-1 in the 11th over. Allen kept the scoreboard ticking over, hitting wide of mid-on off Stout this time. And just as Allen was looking set for a half-century, he would fall caught and bowled by Diego Stewart for 36. The Brooks 11 getting their second wicket, the Ben 11 70-2 after 20 overs. Carl Hope quickly picked up where Allen left off, going over extra cover to keep the boundaries coming. He had his fair share of luck being dropped by Jamar Griffith off Derek Bishop when he was on 27. The Ben 11 would move on to 117 for 2 after 30 overs, with Hope on 40 and Shane Dowrich on 11. Marsha Boyce, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Marsha. Dowrich would go on to score 80 not out of 66 balls with 6 fours and 3 sixes. At Ben's 11 made 244 for 5 in 44 overs. Hope added 55. In reply, Stout made 80 of 76 deliveries with 4 fours and 4 sixes, as Brooks' 11 replied with 245 for 6 of 43.2 overs to win by 4 wickets. Kenroy Williams added 44 and Derek Bishop 43 not out. Christchurch Foundation and Commonwealth had plenty to shout about at the Wildy AstroTurf as they played against each other in the last 2 finals of the secondary school's hockey competition. Foundation claimed victory in their senior boys, while Commonwealth won the under-15 girls. Christchurch Foundation in yellow taking on Commonwealth. Commonwealth on the attack down the left. Tiffany Bell with a solo effort just to keep her to beat. Does it? The girls from Waterford with a 1-0 advantage. But Foundation would find the answer thanks to some poor defending. Kiana Cragwell left alone at the back door and she makes them pay. 1-1 the score. Well, it stayed that way until the end of regulation time, so penalty flicks would decide the winner. Foundation stuffed on their first attempt. Commonwealth now taking the lead. Good placement by Jada Prescott. 1-0. Tia Mitchell made it 1-1. Then Foundation's goalie kept them in the game with a save. But can Foundation capitalize? Another block. Well, this one for the lead, just wide. Well, Cabria Foster would put Foundation up 2-1. Good shot. And it remained that way until Anaya Allen Jermaine and Tiffany Bell put this one away. A couple of misses for Foundation. As Combermere, they go on to win it on penalties, 3-2. In the senior boys final, it only took 1 goal to decide the winner. Christchurch Foundation in black getting in the better of Combermere B. That was a beauty from Peter Allen. Goalkeeper didn't have a chance. 1-0 this one finished. Congratulations to Christchurch Foundation. Well, Correct Auto Sharpshooters are this year's overall champions of the BWU netball competition. They took home the trophy at the recent awards ceremony for the 34th edition of the tournament at Solidarity House. They also topped the Sir Roy Trotman zone in terms of the other winners on the night. Teams from Shotters United won both the Gabby Scott zone and the Ulrich Seeley zone. Correct Auto Spooners Hill was the top team in the Lydia Brooks zone. There were also special awards for the youngest player, 10-year-old Aliyah, that is Lane of Kings Park Ballers, and Kyla Fagan of FEP Ballers, as well as for the top coaches, managers, players, and most disciplined teams in each zone. The BWO top brass hailed the longevity and impact of the tournament.
34 years is indeed a long time for any tournament anywhere, and we safely can say that the Barbados Workers' Union's netball competition is now an institution in Barbados. What began as one of the activities to mark the 5th anniversary celebrations of our union's Labour College back in September 1979 has evolved into one of the enduring sports activities in Barbados.
For 10 years of his childhood, international footballer Mike Yates got to live out the dream of millions of young boys. Not only did he put on the red shirt of Liverpool Football Club, he did it alongside Stephen Gerrard and Michael Owen. But while those latter guys went on to become Anfield icons, Yates' hopes were shattered when he was eventually dropped, ending his career. And now, with the help of Barbadian author Keith Miller, Yates' story is being told. The book launch, written and produced by Miller, was completed in a period of 3 years.
What this book is about is the real-life story of Mike Yates, who actually went through the Premier League academy system with Stephen Gerrard and Michael Owen. And anybody who follows football will tell you they are 2 household names who've reached international stardom. So the typical football biography is about the famous player, but for every famous player there's about 300,000 boys who try and don't make it. And when they're released, it's called release, but they're actually rejected. So that story needs to be told so people understand the realities of the game. It's not entirely negative, there's lots of positives. As well as showing them how difficult it is, there's also plenty of advice and guidance in how they can succeed and make it in professional football.
Well, Miller told CBC Sports that the support he received was excellent.
I would say by far the biggest challenge was breaking into the market, but also starting from scratch. The player I wrote about is not famous. I am not famous. So the challenge was opening some of the doors that I needed to do. Because in addition to writing the story about Mike Yates, I actually interviewed about 22 high-profile people in the game. So former players, current players, managers, coaches, the head of the Professional Football Association, people at the English FA. So at first that was the biggest challenge, but once I got the ball rolling, it continued to accelerate very quickly. And in the end I was accepted very openly, including by Liverpool Football Club, which was very important.